kind of watching a lot of white identity extremism occur and not be labeled as such. But otherwise, things are great.
Do black men have more power than black women?
Of course they do.
Why are black people so weak that they allow this to happen?
Well, I wouldn't say the question would be why are black people so weak. The question would be is why is white supremacy so diabolical and savage? Like I got time for that.
Hey guys, I want to come on here and do this update on Oprah and the backlash that she's getting, and rightfully so, after the Leaving Neverland documentary and then her subsequent panel interview with the men who are making these false allegations aired. Now, prior to this coming out, Oprah had already stated that she was anticipating backlash from his fans, but I don't think that she anticipated the level of backlash that she was going to get. And so now, as a result of this, she's getting all over social media. Let me tell y'all, social media is going all the way in on Oprah, and rightfully so. There have also been reports of her stocks declining significantly, and so she's taking an impact on this. Now, I can't say for sure that her stocks declining is related to this, or if this was something that was happening prior to this, but she's certainly getting a high level of backlash. Now,
I want to give a big shout out and thanks to my current Patreon supporters, and I want to provide people the opportunity, if you're looking to support the channel, to sign up and become a patron to support the channel. You do have access to exclusive content, live streams. So if you would like to support the channel, please sign up, become a patron, and support that way. Also, the Dusty Beta Male t-shirts are available, and you can purchase them if you'd like to. They are available in a multitude of different sizes and colors for both males and females, and the link to where you can get these shirts will also be included in the description box, as well as pinned to the comment section. So thanks to everyone who's a Patreon supporter. If you want to become a supporter of the channel, you can sign up via Patreon, and the link will be in the description box and pinned to the comment sections. And the Dusty Beta Male shirts are available for purchase.
now, if you guys didn't watch my last video, I want to give you a little bit of back context on this situation. Prior to the crux of this documentary is surfaced around two men who had been involved in the trial that Michael Jackson had in 2005. As you guys know, he was investigated heavily by the FBI based on allegations that were deemed to be unfounded. He went through a trial in which Wade Robson and James Safechuck, who the documentary is based around, they went to court and they actually testified on Michael Jackson's behalf during that time. During that time, they stated that neither one of them was ever touched by Michael Jackson, and they disconfirmed allegations that was in there. Their testimonies evidently, as well as other testimonies and evidence that simply was not there, led to the acquittal on all charges of Michael Jackson during that time. So they're bringing up this situation now as a result, I believe, to smear his name and to garner money, because understand, Michael Jackson's name alone brings in revenue. Now, this is a man who has long passed. He passed back in 2009, so it's been 10 years, and they won't let this man rest. HBO chose to do a two-part documentary called Leaving Neverland, where they were going over some information and some now recent allegations of Wade Robson and James Safechuck, where they're supposed to be talking about their experiences with Michael Jackson at Neverland Valley Ranch. Now, a lot of people are already familiar with that, but like I said, these two very same people during his trial had stated that they never been touched by him. Now, all of a sudden, fast forward to 10 years later, not only have they tried to sue Michael Jackson's estate for money, but now they're coming back saying that they actually were touched by him. Now, I want you guys to listen to this short clip on the panel conversation that Oprah had, and then I'll come back with some commentary.
Okay, so here's the thing that I think it's so hard for people who have not had this kind of trauma or experience in their lives to understand. And that is, if you were abused, why would you continue to want to be around the person? I think one of the things that the Michael Jackson's estate is saying about you now is that you, Wade, had tried to get a job working with his organization or going on tour. Why would you want to continue? Can you explain to people why you want to continue the association if you have been abused?
I had no understanding of it being abuse. You know, I loved Michael. And all the times that I testified and, you know, the many times that I gushed over him publicly in interviews or whatever it may be, that was from a real place, you know, while never forgetting any of the sexual details that happened between us, but having no understanding that it was abuse, having no concept in my mind that anything about Michael could ever be bad. Anything that Michael did was right to me for so many years.
Now, you guys heard that little introduction that she had. Now, it's really interesting that she would sit up here and talk about these situations happening on multi-different level within multi-different industries and institutions, the churches, sports, Hollywood, whatever. But yet she's focusing on the unfounded allegations of a man who passed 10 years ago, as if there hasn't been information that came out about Harvey Weinstein, who is one of her buddies. You've had numerous different people, Bill O'Reilly, a number of different celebrities who are currently alive that she could be focusing on doing this panel discussion to discuss. Yet she's focusing on this man who, number one, has been acquitted after being investigated. He was acquitted in a court. He went through a whole trial. They're always telling you to trust the justice system and the process. But when it applies to a black male celebrity, the process tends to go out the window, and they tend to not really care about how he was acquitted. The same thing happened with Nate Parker and other people who had been within the court system for false allegations. So it's really interesting that she would sit up here and have that discussion, not only about a man who long passed, but one who was acquitted. And then she has the discussion with two men who actually stated during that trial that they weren't touched or abused by Michael Jackson. That's the problem that I have with this. And that's when you have to understand that you're possibly dealing with an agent or a sleeper cell. And Nyla Says did an excellent video explaining why it's possible for Oprah to be a sleeper cell. And with everything that comes out with her behavior, her sentiment, her mindset, how she navigates through society and her politics support that claim. And just like in every interview or every news article, they're emphasizing the fact that both Robeson and SafeCheck previously testified that Michael Jackson never did anything to them. So that being out there, you have to know that she was very aware of that. She knows that. And if she's not aware of that, she can obtain that information. She simply doesn't care, because she's supposed to be putting out propaganda against this man so that it doesn't look like the establishment is doing it. And people can't say, well, that's bias or discrimination because you have a black woman up here supporting it. And it's really interesting that if she's going to have this discussion, if she was genuinely going to have this discussion, why wouldn't she have actual victims up there? Why would you have a discussion about people who said they didn't even experience any abuse? So right off the bat, you already know what her intentions are. Now that she's getting the backlash, places and entities, specifically TMZ and other, you know, online media sources, are trying to put Oprah in a position of victimization and say she's receiving internet hate, which she's not. She's receiving the criticism that is due to her, because it's very easy to see what the intent of this is. Like we said, these are two men who both denied that anything was done to them by Michael Jackson, so they should not be included in any type of documentary concerning him, unless that documentary is geared towards unveiling the false allegations that are placed against Black men. That really should be happening. But let's get into it. Some of these comments says, I really pray that karma comes back on Oprah full force and 10 times over. I pray that her whole empire comes crashing down. I pray she suffers. That is what one Twitter follower said, and they blurred it out, so you can't really see who's saying these things, but we will go to Twitter to go over some of these things. It says, not only for what she has done and is still trying to do, but many others as well. I don't care. I said what I said. Hashtag MJ innocent. You have another person saying, at Oprah, you're disgusting, a cheap mercenary, karma will punish you, MJ innocent. At Michael Jackson, we will fight for you. Another one says, Oprah is a pig. F Oprah. And then you have, if karma is real, after Oprah is laid to rest, which I hope is many years from now, people will come out of the woodworks to lie on, betray, and besmirch her name the way it is being done to Michael Jackson. And people she once let into her inner circle will lead the way. Now, I want to go to some additional comments from Twitter so you guys can see what people are saying, and then I'll come back with the final commentary. Now, you guys saw those those tweets, and so you guys see how they're going in on Oprah, and rightfully so. They've shown how she supports many people who have had allegations against them and have definitely questioned her motive behind doing this, which we see at this point is that she's supporting the propaganda and an agenda, which I told you guys earlier, that there is a concerted effort to shift the narrative and the face of historical abusers and attach it to Black men. That is what's going on, and that is what's happening. And Oprah, unfortunately, is a huge part of that. And now you see how people are actually treating her as a result. Someone made mention of her empire falling, and it kind of sounds like that may already be happening because, again, stocks are down. I do believe she will lose support from a lot of people in all communities because Michael Jackson was well loved in every single community. There isn't a place on this earth where, maybe North Sentinel Island, where you could go to and they don't know who Michael Jackson is, or he doesn't have a huge support base there, even posthumous. This man's legacy will never die, but they continue to try to taint him and disparage and besmirch his name, and she's simply taking part in that. So whatever comes to her after that, it is what it is. And somebody in here is interesting, said Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah are canceled. If you guys get on social media, you will see just how much backlash she's getting from this, and rightfully so. But you guys get in the comment sections, let me know what you think. Thank you for your support. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and I'll see you in the next one.